welcome to our scale pose flow. So today is when we take all of our knowledge about our arm balance and put it together into one cohesive flow. So we'll be getting started on our backs in Shavasana. So making your way down. So taking a couple deep breaths. We'll inhale to fill our belly nice and big. Biggest breath you've taken all day. And exhale to sigh out the mouth. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale to sigh out the mouth. And one more. Inhale, big breath. Filling the belly, feeling it rise up. And exhale to sigh. From here, inhale to draw your right knee in towards your chest, grabbing a hold of the front of your shin, feeling the compression of your thigh against your stomach, feeling the hip joint beginning to warm up. From here, shifting very slightly, so releasing your clasp a little bit as we shift our knee towards the outside of our body and drawing our knee in once again, but this time towards our armpit. So feeling the hip stretch in a slightly different way. So as we pause here, just noticing what differences you feel. With an inhale, extending your right foot up towards the sky, grabbing a hold of the back of your thigh for a quick hamstring stretch. Maybe try pointing and flexing the foot. And with an exhale, drawing your knee towards the outside of your body, reaching for the sole of your foot if you can, or maybe the calf if that's more comfortable. And we're coming into half happy baby. So typically we would be clasping both feet. Today we're just focusing on one side at a time. Really noticing what's happening in your hip joint when you're doing this. If you remember, our scale pose is all about getting into our lotus pose first. So really taking our time to warm up all of the surrounding muscles in our hips. With your next exhale, drawing the right sole of your foot to the mat and bringing the left up to meet it. With an inhale, drawing your right ankle to your left knee into a figure four stretch. So either staying here with a flexed foot or reaching and drawing in the left shin towards the body. So this is more of a glute stretch as well as an outer hip stretch. Noticing if you're feeling any tension, any stiffness, and sending your breath to that spot. One more breath. And with your next exhale, releasing down and sending both legs long down your mat. Inhale to draw the left knee in towards your chest. Feeling it compress against your stomach, noticing what you're feeling in your hip joint. Releasing slightly and redirecting your knee towards the outside of your body as you exhale, drawing it in and up towards your armpit. Noticing any changes. Noticing any tension and continuing to use your breath to help you get a little deeper. With your next inhale, extending the sole of your foot up towards the ceiling, clasping behind your thigh, drawing your leg in slightly, warming up through our hamstrings, pointing and flexing the foot if that feels good. I feel a nice calf stretch when I flex here. And with your next exhale, guiding your knee towards the outside of your torso, reaching for the sole of your foot, guiding your knee down into our half happy baby. Once again, just taking inventory of what's happening in your body when you're here. If you need to make any adjustments, any movements, feel free to do that. With an exhale, releasing the sole of your foot to your mat, drawing the right foot in to meet it. Inhale, left ankle to right knee, flexing through your foot into our figure four with the option to draw the right knee in towards your chest. Remember to flex through your feet to protect our knee joint. Really taking our time to warm up all of the appropriate muscles so we're not putting any unnecessary strain onto our muscles and our joints. And with your next exhale, releasing the soles of your feet to your mat. Grabbing a hold of the fronts of your knees, both of them, we're gonna rock ourselves up to seated. So taking a few rocks to massage out the back and making our way all the way up. So from here, we're coming right up to standing. So making your way to the top of your mat for just a quick round of sun salutation. So this is just a great way to warm up all the large muscle groups in our body. So we'll inhale, arms high. Exhale as we come into our forward fold. Inhale, engaging the core as we come into our halfway lift. Exhale to release deeper into our forward fold. Planting your hands to the mat as we step back for our plank pose. Exhale as we lower through our chaturanga, coming into our baby cobra, or maybe our upward facing dog. And with an exhale, making our way to downward facing dog. Pausing here in our down dog, stretching out the backs of our legs, pedaling out the feet, strengthening through our wrists and shoulders. Maybe taking the time for a couple shoulder shrugs as we allow the shoulders to collapse slightly in our down dog. And exhale to activate and press away. So exhale to allow your shoulders to collapse in. Inhale, pressing the ground away, lifting. Exhale. Inhale, presses the ground away even more. From here, inhale to walk our feet up to meet our hands. Inhale to a halfway lift, drawing your belly button in nice and tight. Exhale, folding deeper. Inhale, arms sweep up and high. And exhaling through heart center. From here, preparing for our yogi squat or Tolasana. So walking our feet out a little bit wider than hip width distance with our toes pointed slightly outward. From here, hands together at your heart. We'll exhale as we send our hips low into our squat. So if your heels are lifting, that's okay. Pressing the knees away gently. Maybe swaying side to side, really sinking into our hips. From here, planting our left hand to the ground. Inhale, right arm high into a gentle twist. Exhale to return to center. Right hand plants, left arm inhales overhead, twisting to the left. Exhale to come back to center. From here, making our way right onto our bum. So preparing for our scale pose now. So choosing your dominant leg, whichever one you like, to draw up on into our half lotus pose first. So maybe just pause here and see how that feels, making sure we don't have any strain on the knee joint. So maybe you stay here for today to practice your scale pose, just in half lotus. Or if you're feeling ready, we'll inhale our opposite leg up and over. I forgot to mention at the start, if you have blocks, have them handy and nearby. If not, that's great. So with our hands, once we're feeling comfortable in our lotus pose, we're positioning our hands somewhere between our hips and our knees. You'll get a feel for it the more times you practice it, of what's feeling good for you. So somewhere in between there, we're beginning to lean forward into our hands. So that should already be taking some weight off of the bum area and giving you a little bit of lift just with that rocking motion. So fully engaging our core. So we're drawing the belly in and up. Leaning forward, pressing through the hands, rounding through the back. Pressing firmly through our hands. Holding for as many breaths as you can, maybe giving it a couple tries. Maybe it's just the motion of the lifting and lowering. That's great. Maybe even play around with lifting the knees first and then leaning forward to lift the bum. That might give you a little bit of momentum. Just be careful with the wrists. So playing around with that, seeing what feels good. Maybe try with and without blocks. And when you're ready, coming back to our lotus pose and very gently unwinding yourself. And we'll give that a try on the opposite side just to keep all of our muscles nice and balanced and even. So figuring out which leg you did first and switching that up this time. So from our lotus or half lotus, positioning our hands between our hips and our knee. Pressing through, beginning to lean forward. Exhale as you lift and tuck the knees up high, lifting the bum off the ground. Holding as long as you can, maybe trying it again. The key here is really rounding through the back to give you that lift. And we'll exhale to lower, unwinding our legs very gently. And we'll come into a butterfly. So soles of the feet together, sitting up nice and tall, gently flapping out the knees. And with our arms, we'll come into eagle arms just for a nice release for our shoulders. So it doesn't matter which arm you do first, we'll do both sides. So clasping hands if you can. Maybe lifting the elbows slightly. Breathing deeply, finding your nice tall spine. You should be feeling a really nice stretch across the upper back and shoulders. We'll exhale to release, maybe giving the shoulders a shrug. And we'll try that again, putting your opposite arm on top. Inhale to lift the elbows. Checking in with your posture, making sure we're still sitting up nice and tall. And with an exhale, we'll release, planting our hands gently behind us, leaning back slightly, drawing our feet up to about hip width distance. And from here, we'll exhale to drop our knees to one side and the other, just using your breath to windshield wiper out our legs. Maybe try dropping one knee in, then the other. Taking any movement that's feeling good. Maybe try taking the feet out wider or closer. This is a really great mobility exercise for our knees and hips. And we'll inhale as we make our way back up into a seated position. And that's it for today. So let me know how your scale pose is going for you. It is, in my opinion, one of the easier arm balances. So let me know how you're doing, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.